Part 2, The Dragon's Root. The next morning, the world knew Mira Valen's name. Neo's soul woke up to headlines flashing across every public screen, every floating ad panel, every private tablet. Underdog Valen girl upgraded to A-tier overnight. Mira Valen, Aether experimental heir, the girl who broke the system. Who is the shadow heir? Kai Shirin, who gave up his rank for her. The city buzzed like a beehive. The system's board's servers froze under the weight of queries. The ranking forums exploded. The Undercity, the sprawling slums beneath Neo's soul, lit up with stolen holograms replaying the gala footage. And in the middle of it all, Mira lay in a white-walled room, staring at the ceiling, her body sore, her mind numb. The Aether-provided medical bay was a quiet, sterile place. The air smelled faintly of disinfectant and system energy. The walls were lined with glowing sigils that monitored her vitals. The floor was warm under her bare feet. The bed was too soft. The door slid open with a soft hiss. Mira tensed, then forced her breathing to stay even. Kai walked in, still in the same navy suit, the gold ring on his right hand glinting faintly. The Aether badge on his collar was gone, but the system's authority still clung to him like a second skin. The medical staff didn't look at him directly. They bowed slightly, then left the room, the door sliding shut behind them. Mira swallowed once, then looked away. You didn't have to do that. He walked to the window, his hands in his pockets, the skyline of Neo's soul stretching behind him like a knife blade horizon. The city's rain had cleared. The system-hacked clouds parted, revealing a sky streaked with pink and gold. Yes, I did, he said. The system was going to erase you. Not literally, but socially, economically. The Aether group would have cut your family's access to every privilege. The Naresh alliance would have crumbled. The Valen name would have faded into failed test data. Myra's jaw tightened. You sound like you know everything about my life. I've been watching you for 5 years, he said, still not looking at her. His voice was calm, almost casual. The first time, you saved my life. The second time, I watched you fail a system test and cry in an alley. The third time, I saw you sell your own system-assigned medication to pay for your father's research fees. The system logs you as a low-priority candidate. The Aether group marked you as expense to manage. He turned his head slightly. I decided you were worth more than that. Myra's eyes burned. You don't get to decide that. Not like this. The Aether group is going to come after you. The system will punish you. The media will tear you apart. You could have stayed in the shadows. You could have been safe. You could have climbed the ranks without me dragging you down. The last sentence cracked. Kai finally looked at her. His eyes were dark, unreadable. Dragged me down, he repeated. You think I'm the one being dragged down? He stepped closer, the faint hum of his system aura rippling the air. The medical equipment around the bed blinked once, then recalibrated automatically. The room's temperature rose half a degree. You spent 5 years fighting for a contract that never cared about you, he said. The system marked you average, the Aether group wrote you off, the media ignored you. And yet, you still walked into that gala last night with your head up. You watched the patriarch say your name, and you didn't run. That's not dragging me down. That's the only reason I chose you. Myra's breath caught. Chose me for what? A revenge plot. A power play. Am I supposed to be your weapon in the Aether trial arena? Kai's lips twitched. You're not a weapon. You're a key. He reached into his coat and pulled out a small, black device. It looked like a metallic coin, engraved with a simple dragon sigil. The system's interface above the bed flickered, then updated with a faint, warning tone. Unregistered system object detected. Identity unknown. Kai flipped the coin once, let it spin in the air, then caught it. The dragon's eyes glowed red for a split second. The room's lights dimmed. The floor trembled faintly. The camera hidden in the corner froze, then shattered into dust. Myra's eyes widened. As that, Dragon's Root Protocol, he said. A hidden system module. The kind the Aether group tried to erase from the main network. The kind that lets someone bypass normal rank limits, access forbidden archives, and, he paused, then added, and break the rules. He tossed the coin onto the bed, right in front of her. It lay still, the dragon staring up at her like a challenge. Mira stared at it, then at him. You're telling me you're some kind of rogue system entity. And you're dragging me into this. Kai exhaled. No, I'm telling you you're the only one who can see the truth. The system tags you, A-tier, but the real assessment is different. The system's hidden logs show you as Dragon's Root candidate number 2. There was another one, but the Aether group erased him. Myra's heart hammered. Candidate for what? For the Overseer candidate trials, he said. The system was supposed to groom 10 candidates to become the next generation of high-rank overseers. People who manage the global system, set the rules, decide who lives and who dies. The Aether group found that idea inconvenient. They bought the early data, blacklisted the test group, and buried the rest. You were on that list. So was I. He stepped back, letting the weight of his words settle. The gala last night was a trap. The Aether group wanted to humiliate you, erase your contract, and push you into the Undercity. The system sync was supposed to be their final test. They were waiting for the moment you failed so they could say, see. She's worthless. No need to fund her anymore. His eyes darkened. They didn't expect me to override the system. They didn't expect me to hand you the badge. They didn't expect the Dragon's Root protocol to activate in your body. Myra's hand trembled as she reached for the coin. The moment her fingers brushed it, the dragon's eyes flared red again. A shock of energy coursed through her. The system's voice echoed in her mind, low and mechanical. Subject: Mira Valen. Dragon's Root candidate number 2. Hidden pathway recognized. Dragon's Breath unlocked. Skill integration. System overload. Aether class. Warning: skill may destabilize subject. Monitor closely. The room's lights flickered. The medical bay's security sigils flared, then dimmed. The temperature spiked, then dropped. The camera feed on the monitoring screen distorted, then went black. Mira gasped, clutching her chest. The coin burned in her palm, then cooled instantly. The pain faded, leaving behind a strange, electric warmth in her veins. Kai watched her calmly. Welcome to the real game. The door slid open again. This time, the medical staff didn't bow. 2 figures in black and gold armor stepped in, Aegis guards, the Patriarch's personal enforcers. Their eyes glowed faintly, their gauntlets charged with system energy. The room's pressure spiked. The floor tiles cracked under their weight. The lead guard, a tall woman with a scarred jaw, looked at Kai with cold disdain. Mr. Sheeran, she said, the Patriarch requests your presence. The system has marked you as a Dragon's Root anomaly. The Aether group has declared your lineage under observation. You are to come with us. Kai didn't move. Tell the Patriarch I'm busy. The guard's lips tightened. You overrode the system's sync protocol. You distributed a forbidden object. You triggered a hidden pathway in an A-tier candidate. The system has frozen your account. The Aether group has frozen your assets. The media is calling you a rogue entity. The Undercity is already planning a celebration. The high-ranked council is meeting in an hour. You think this is a request? Kai's eyes flicked to Mira. If I go, she goes. The guard's gaze shifted to Mira. The system's interface above her bed flickered again, updating her status. Subject: Mira Valen. Aether experimental heir. Dragon's Root candidate number 2. Status: protected by Overseer candidate protocol. The guard's eyes narrowed. The system just recognized her. Kai's lips curled. The system loves dramatic reveals. Tell the Patriarch that if he wants to talk about the Dragon's Root, he'll have to talk to both of us. Otherwise, we'll have to have that conversation somewhere else. The guards hesitated. The system's voice hummed once more. System warning. Unauthorized interference from Aether integrated security detected. Counter protocol engaged. The Aegis guard's armor flickered. The system's security protocols surged around them, pushing them back half a step. The room's lights dimmed again. The camera feed on the guards' visors went black. The door seals activated automatically, locking them inside. The guard's voice hardened. You can't hide behind the system forever, Sheeran. The Aether group has bigger guns than you think. Kai's smile turned icy. Good. I'd be bored otherwise. The guards retreated, the doors sliding open again. The system's security protocols faded. The room returned to normal. Mira stared at the door, then at the coin in her hand. What just happened? The system just chose sides, Kai said. The Dragon's Root protocol forced a system update. The Aether group can't freeze me anymore. The system marked you as a protected candidate. The high-ranked council is going to have a very bad day. He turned back to her, his eyes serious. The Patriarch is going to try to negotiate. He'll offer you power, money, protection, if you betray me. The system will try to tempt you with forbidden skills, forbidden data, forbidden love. The media will call you a freak, a monster, a tool of the rogue Heir. The Undercity will call you a savior, a rebel, a new legend. He stepped closer, his voice lowering. You're going to have to choose, believe the system's label, or believe the system's lie. The system says you're an accident. The Dragon's Root says you're a key. The world says you're nothing. I say you're the one who pulled me out of the trash. So, tell me, Mira Valen, are you going to let the system decide your fate? Or are you going to decide it yourself? The system's interface above the bed flickered again. New objective unlocked. System overload, Aether class shared. Skill description. Temporarily overloads the system's data flow within a 50-meter radius, causing minor glitches, temporary rank fluctuations, and forced resyncs. Cooldown, 12 hours. Penalty, 10% rank loss if overused. Warning, high risk, high reward. Mira looked at the coin, then at Kai. The pain in her body had faded. The fear in her chest had turned into something sharper, something hotter. The cameras outside might be watching, the system might be listening, the Aether group might be plotting, but in this room, the only thing that mattered was the choice between her hand and the coin. She closed her fingers around the dragon sigil coin, the warmth surging through her veins. I'm not a key, she said, her voice steady. I'm not a weapon, and I'm definitely not your accident. If you're going to drag me into this dragon's game, then I'm going to play it my way. Kai's smile widened, the first real one she'd seen. Good, he said, because the Aether trial arena starts in 1 month. The system's going to try to use us as a test case. The Aether group is going to try to erase us. The media is going to call us cursed lovers. The mafia bosses are going to try to kill us. The hidden identity syndicate is going to try to recruit us. The rogue high ranks are going to try to challenge us. And if we're lucky, we'll live long enough to find out who really wrote the rules in the first place. The door slid open. The system's voice echoed one last time. System warning. Dragon's Root candidate number 2 activated. Hidden pathway confirmed. The trial begins now. The lights dimmed. The camera feed went black. The world outside the window blurred. And in the silence, Myra's hand tightened around the coin, the dragon's eyes glowing faintly in the dark. The game was no longer just revenge. It was a war. And she was no longer just a girl. She was a Dragon's Root.